Let's turn now to Tom's new piece for Newsweek, which asks the question, why haven't top Democrats learned from the Harris campaign's failures? In it, Tom argues that Andrew Cuomo's recent loss in the Democratic primary in the New York City mayoral race proves the left will lose future races if it fails to learn the lessons of the past. Tom, explain the connection you see there.
Well, I knew Kamala Harris was going to be a weak candidate. I wrote a column saying I thought she'd be the weakest candidate. But I really didn't think other major Democrats would quite make the campaign mistakes that she did. But I was very wrong, because Andrew Cuomo, who had a good 6 months to study the failures of the Harris campaign, went out and basically committed every mistake that Kamala Harris did. Tick them off. One, affordability. It was very clear that Harris missed the importance of pocketbook issues, inflation, grocery prices, and Andrew Cuomo just totally missed this affordability issue, how important it was. He got absolutely shellacked among voters below $50,000 income and just didn't understand that as an overwhelming issue. Kamala Harris, given the importance of the abortion issue, and the importance of women to the Democratic Party, spent an enormous amount of time on abortion. I think she very much overplayed that issue to the detriment of talking about pocketbook issues. Cuomo did the same thing when it came to Israel, and rightfully bringing some focus to Mamdani's anti-Semitic views, but again, overplayed that relative to the importance of getting pocketbook affordability issues more broadly understood in terms of key concern to him. Both missed the importance of affordability to younger voters, the younger voter issue, and how much they could be swayed by somebody who was talking about their pocketbook. Both missed. Incumbency. Cuomo played this as an inside guy who almost was an incumbent, even though he was out of office, knowing how to manipulate the system. Harris very famously saying she wouldn't do anything different than Joe Biden, when people were looking for somebody who's going to shake up the system, and neither of them understood the importance of saying you're going to shake up the system. Both relied overwhelmingly on how much money they raised and spending it lavishly, instead of understanding the importance of social media and being able to use that much more effectively in terms of showing you are a warrior for a cause. Both hid from the press. You hide from the press, you miss the opportunity to show your authenticity. And both of them failed miserably on that front.
And Molly, I mean, Cuomo also just got really outworked. Let's be clear.
Yeah. I mean, I have a structural problem with comparing the Harris to Cuomo for any number of reasons. You know, Cuomo had things working against him that were of his own making, whereas Harris had things working against her which were structurally larger problems in society. So I think it's a pretty unfair comparison. But that said, and also I have some issues with some of the broader strokes of your argument here, especially against Mamdani. But I would just like to get into there's something you said that I think is absolutely correct, which is this idea that if you are not everywhere, you are not anywhere. Can you talk more about that?
Well, I'm not saying by any means that Andrew Cuomo didn't have other issues, and Kamala Harris had some other issues. But in terms of core campaign strategy and how they attacked the key elements that a smart candidate would not make a mistake on, I think they were both very similar in that regard. But you can't hide from the press. You can't try to rely somehow on not being out there, not pressing the press, not showing you're authentic. Mamdani did a fantastic job of being everywhere and being a person who looked as if he was totally accessible, talking to everybody, listening to everybody. Cuomo hiding from that, and in many respects, Harris did the same thing, is just not a way to conduct a smart campaign today.
Yeah, certainly. There were some in the Harris campaign that thought that she took too much time off the road for a stretch. She got back out there at the end. She did. But it might have been too little, too late.